Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Rabia, and on behalf of AFAQ online learning platform, I welcome all of you to this video lesson. In this video lesson, we will learn about new AFAQ Sun series English Grade 2 Unit 1. So let's get started. But before we get to the video, I want to tell you that this video lesson is for you if you are a student, a teacher, or a parent. Also, I want to share a fact with you that makes AFAQ learning experience unique. We know that planning is fundamental for successful learning and teaching. That's why AFAQ has developed academic calendars. These academic calendars provide you support for each subject of each class. These academic calendars have been divided into 3 terms: first term, second term, and third term. Each term is then divided into 2 periodic units. Therefore, there are 6 periodic units in total. We can say that at the end of the third term, you will have covered all the SLOs and all the concepts of the textbook, because we have distributed all the concepts and all the SLOs of the textbook equally among all these terms. As you can see here in this academic calendar, there are 6 weeks in one periodic unit. The 5 of them have been allocated for teaching and learning, whereas the 6th one has been reserved for assessment. That's not all. We also provide suggested timetables on the basis of subject weightage and academic calendar. As you can see here, we have allocated 7 periods to English. There are 2 double lessons and 3 single lessons in this timetable. You can change this timetable according to the requirement of your school, but we recommend that you give 7 periods to this subject. Now let's start Unit 1. So dear children, are you ready for an exciting lesson? I hope we will learn a lot of things together. So let's start our lesson. Before we start our lecture, I want to tell you that this lesson falls in the periodic term 1 of Unit 1, and it will be covered in periodic weeks 1 to 3. Only 2 days of week 3 will be covered in this lesson, and we will study textbook unit number 1. Yes children, so the title of Unit 1 is Rain, and there are 14 SLOs to be covered in this lesson. Now it is activity time. In this lesson, we will cover 2 SLOs, and complete methodology to cover these SLOs has been provided in DLP number 1 of day 1 of week 1 of Unit 1 and term 1. Okay children, before we turn to your textbook, I want to ask you some questions. Think about them carefully and then answer them. So the first question is, which type of dress do you want to wear in summers? Yes, in summer it is hot. So what kind of clothes do we wear? Yes, we wear light clothes in summer. Okay, now answer the second question and think about it carefully. Can we eat mangoes in winters? Yes, tell me, can we eat mangoes in winter? In Pakistan, mangoes are available only in summer season. So we can not eat mangoes in winter season. So the third question is, do you like having hot drinks in summers? Yes, tell me. Tell me about your likes or dislikes about hot drinks. Okay, now I want you to pause this video and answer all these 6 questions. Have you answered these questions? Very well done. Now I will turn to your lesson. Open your book page number 1. On this page, you can see 4 pictures. Now pause this video, look at these pictures carefully, and then come again, because I'm going to ask you some questions about these pictures. So children, have you looked at the pictures carefully? Very good. Are you ready for the questions? Very good. Now on your page number 1, there are 2 questions given. The first one is, which seasons are shown in the given pictures? So these are 4 pictures of seasons, and you have to tell which season is depicted in each picture. And the second question is, which season do you like the most and why? So for the second question, you have to tell your own like, and you have to give reason as well. Alright children, now you can see 4 pictures on the screen. Look at them carefully and tell me, which dress would you like to wear in winter season? Yes, which dress is best for winter season? Is this dress suitable for winter season? No, it is not, because it doesn't cover our body completely. What about this dress? Is this dress suitable for winter season? Yes, it is warm. Therefore, it is suitable for winter seasons. Tell me about this dress. Alright, and also give me your response about this dress. And discuss these answers with your friend. Tell them why do you think that these dresses are suitable for winter seasons or why they are not suitable for winter season. Alright children, now it is time to practice the concepts that you have covered in the textbook. You have learned about different seasons. Now I want you to practice the concepts that you have learned in the lesson. Okay, so there are some questions on the screen. I want you to pause this video and answer all the questions. These questions are about seasons. So dear children, have you answered all the questions given on the previous slide? Very good. All these questions will help you gather information about different seasons and write about them in the given space. So you have to write about winter season, about the spring season, and you also have to write about summer season and autumn season, keeping in mind the information that you have collected by using the questions. Now it's time for another exciting activity. In this lesson, we will cover 2 SLOs, and complete methodology to cover these 2 SLOs has been provided in DLP 2. Remember that this DLP will also be covered in day 1 of the first week of the first unit in term 1. So dear children, before we start this lesson, I want to recite a poem for you. So dear children, before we start this lesson, I want to recite a poem for you. Listen to it carefully and tell me what is this poem about. Okay, so the poem goes like this. Nature is everywhere. Nature is everywhere you go. Everything that lives and grows is nature. Animals, big and small. Nature is plants that grow so tall. Nature is beautiful in every way, wonderful, exciting, and needs our care. So listen, learn, and do your part to keep nature beautiful forever. Alright children, now tell me, what do you think this poem is about? Yes, this poem is about nature and how we should play our part in protecting the nature. Now dear students, it's time to think. I'm going to ask you some questions. These questions are related to seasons, that is the concepts that you have already covered in the previous lesson, and also about the poem that I just recited. So you have to think carefully and give their answers. Let's go to the questions now. Alright, the first question is, who created plants and animals? Yes, think about it. Who created all the plants and all the animals? Yes, Allah has created all of them. And can you tell me, where do we live? Where do all humans, animals and plants live? Yes, we live on the planet Earth. It is a planet. Okay, now tell me, who made this planet? Allah has made this planet as well. Allah has made all the humans, all the plants, all the animals, and also this planet on which we live. So the last question is, what things do we have on this planet? What are the things on this planet? Yes, there are different trees. There are so many trees, rivers, mountains, and also we can see sun and moon from the earth. So all these blessings have been given to us, and all these things have been created by Allah. Okay students, now the fact is that we cannot count the blessings of Allah, but we can make a list of some of them only. For example, we have made a list here. Can you add some more items to this list? For example, we have written sky, clouds, rain, stars, moon, sun, air, trees, mountains, rivers, oceans. These are only some of the blessings and some of the creations of Allah. Can you add more items to this list? Hurry up, add 3 to 4 more items to this list and then come back. Alright students, so we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all His blessings. All these blessings make nature. All the plants, animals, the planet, the trees and everything around us together makes nature. Alright dear students, let's turn to your textbook. I want you to open page number 2 of your textbook. There is a poem on this page. Read it carefully and share your ideas about this poem with your class fellows. The theme of the poem Rain that you just read is nature. This poem is about nature. Alright, now let's turn to our next exciting activity. In this lesson, we will cover one SLO. After completing this lesson, you will be able to pronounce the initial and the final sound of common words depicted in pictures with their corresponding letters. Dear teachers, complete methodology for covering this SLO has been provided in DLP 3. This DLP will be covered in the second day of the first week of Term 1, Unit 1. Okay, my dear children, I am going to conduct an exciting activity with you. I am going to show you some pictures and I want you to give me one word for each of these pictures. Now let's look at the first picture. Yes, what is this? Can you tell me? Brush, very good. This is a brush. Let's look at the other picture. One word for this picture. Slip, yes, this boy slipped. What is this? This is hand, very good. Now one word for this picture. Belt, very good. So, all the words are made up of different sounds. In this activity, you have to pay attention to the first and the last sounds of the words. For example, yes, look here. We have the first letter of this word is B, B, brush. And the first letter of this word is S, S, slip. In the same way, if we look at the final sound of these words, this word ends with a D sound, D, hand. So the last sound of this word is D. In the same way, the last sound of this word is T, as depicted by T. Belt, belt. So the last sound is T. In the previous activity, we learnt about the initial sounds and the final sounds of the words. Now, I want you to solve a worksheet on the same concept. In this worksheet, different pictures have been provided. You have to look at the pictures, say the name of the picture and write the first sound and the last sound of the word. Let's do the first one together. The first picture is, what is this? This is a tree. Very good. Tree. So what is the first sound of this word? Tree, tree. T, t. Yes, it starts with a T. T, t, tree. And what is the last sound? Tree, tree. The last sound is E. Yes, so it ends with an E sound. So you will write T here and E here. T, t, E, a. In the same way, you have to say the words one by one and write the first sound and the last sound of each of these words. Alright, dear learners, let's move to our next activity. In this lesson, one SLO will be covered, and dear teachers, we have provided complete methodology to cover this SLO in DLP number 4. This DLP will be covered in the third day of the first week of Term 1, Unit 1. Alright, dear students, now turn to page number 3 of your textbook. On this page, there is an oral communication section. I want you to focus on this section now. In this section, we will do phonics practice. You have already studied the concept of initial and final sounds of words in the previous lecture. Now we will do some more practice of these sounds. Now focus on these words given on your textbook page number 3. There are 2 rows. In one row, you have to focus on the initial sound of the words, and in the second row, we have to focus on the final sound of the 4 words given. Alright, so let's practice them together. The first word in the first row is rain. The second is field. The third word is tree. And the fourth word is deer. Now let's focus on the initial sounds of these words. Alright, the initial sound here is r, rain. The initial sound in this word is f, field, field. The initial sound in this word is, yes, can you tell me what is the initial sound in this word? Theta, tree, very good. And the initial sound in this word is deer, yes, it is d. Alright, now let's turn to the final sounds. Okay, look at this word carefully and tell me what is the final sound in this word. The final sound is r, poor. Did you notice that in the first word, in the first row, the first sound is r, and here the last sound is r. Compare the two words, rain, r with the initial sound. And now look at this word, poor, r with the final sound. So the same letters or the same sounds can come in the initial position of a word or the final position of the word. Now read these words carefully and come back. Dear children, there is another activity on textbook page number 3. In this activity, you have to look at the pictures carefully, guess the name of the object, and then tell us what is the final and the initial letter of this word. For example, let's do the first one together. In part 2, you have to identify the initial letter sound of the pictures. And in part 3, you have to identify the final letter sound of each picture. Let's do this one together. Alright, what is this? Can you tell me the name of this object? This is a car. Alright. This is a car and we have to tell the initial letter sound of this word, car. So what is the initial letter sound of this word? Car, can you tell me? Is it s or p or k? Which one is correct for this word? Yes, we have to match this picture with k sound. Seek a car. Very good. Now do the second one yourself by following the same steps. Now let's look at activity number 3. In this activity, you have to look at the pictures and then you have to say the names of the objects and match each picture with its final letter sound. Let's do this one together. What is this? Can you tell me? What is this? This is a bed. So what is the final sound of this word? Bed. Is it d or f or e? What is the final word? What is the final sound? The final sound is d, as in bed. So we will match this picture with d. Now do the second one yourself. Alright children, I hope that you have understood the concept of initial sounds and final sounds of the words. Now I want you to complete this worksheet. In this worksheet, different objects have been given and their letters have also been provided. But in some places, the initial sounds are missing, whereas in others, the final sounds are missing. Now fill this activity by adding the final and the initial letters where needed. Let's do the first one together. The first picture is that of a box. Yes, this is a box. And the first sound is missing. That is, the initial sound is missing in this case. So what is the initial sound for the word box? B. So you are supposed to write B over here in this blank space. I hope that you are going to enjoy writing this composition. I hope that you have understood all the concepts that we covered in this unit, because now it's going to be your revision week, and after revision week your teacher will take your assessments. So it's very important that you revise all these concepts and learn all these concepts carefully. So now I will meet you in the next lesson. Allah Hafiz.